spoke of liberty while holding human beings in chains. They wrote of freedom while treating others as property. Our classrooms celebrate them as heroes. Our monuments honor their names. But what if the men who birthed America were also architects of inequality? This is the side of America's founding fathers. They never taught you in school. If you're ready to confront the full truth of American history, like this video, share it with someone who needs to see it, and subscribe for more stories they left out of the textbooks. George Washington, first president, father of the nation, the general who won American independence. That's how we remember him. But there's another story beneath the powdered wig and marble statues, one far less noble. Washington wasn't just a passive slaveholder, he was a strategic one. He owned over 120 enslaved people at Mount Vernon. But here's what most textbooks leave out. When he moved to Philadelphia, a city with laws that could free enslaved people after 6 months of residence, he carefully rotated his enslaved workers out every 5 months, skirting the law to keep them in bondage. One of those enslaved women was Ona Judge. At just 22, Ona escaped. She fled the President of the United States. And what did Washington do? He used government resources to hunt her down. He posted ads, sent agents, even pressured other officials to help return her. But she never went back. In an 1845 interview, she said, "I am free, and have, I trust, been made a child of God by." Washington's legacy is complex. He led a revolution for liberty, yet denied it to those who served his meals, made his clothes, and built his wealth. His last will freed some, but not all. He gave a nation its freedom, but only some were ever meant to receive it. Thomas Jefferson is the author of the Declaration of Independence, a philosopher, a genius, but also a man of contradictions. He owned over 600 enslaved people in his lifetime. He believed slavery was morally wrong, yet profited from it until his death. But the darkest part? His relationship with Sally Hemings. She was an enslaved girl, just 14. Jefferson was 44. Historical records show he fathered at least 6 of her children. Children born into slavery. Children who could never consent. Jefferson never freed Sally. She lived her life legally as property. In public, Jefferson spoke against slavery. In private, he wrote letters calling black people inferior. He once said, "I tremble for my country when I reflect that God is just." But he never trembled enough to stop. When he died, his estate was deeply in debt. So he did what many planters did. He sold human beings to pay his bills. So yes, he penned the words that built a revolution. But he also built his world on human suffering. Jefferson's America was never meant to be equal. Benjamin Franklin, the ultimate polymath, inventor of bifocals, diplomat in Paris, writer of wit and wisdom. He also owned enslaved people. And for decades, he printed ads selling them in his own newspaper. Here's one from the Pennsylvania Gazette, 1730s. To be sold, a healthy Negro woman about 30 years of age. Franklin's press didn't just inform citizens, it facilitated the slave trade. Now, to his credit, Franklin did change. In his later years, he became president of Pennsylvania's first abolition society. He even petitioned Congress in 1790 to abolish slavery. Congress dismissed him. So what do we do with Franklin? He evolved, he learned, but he was still complicit for decades. And we can't skip over that just because he changed. History must include both the lantern of his genius and the shadows he helped cast. James Madison wrote the Constitution, helped create the Bill of Rights, protected the very liberties we prize today. But Madison also enslaved over 100 people. And while others debated abolition, he called slavery a necessary evil. He argued against counting enslaved people as full persons, not because he wanted to help them, but because he feared it would empower southern states too much. He once wrote, "The great danger to liberty is from combinations of the majority." Yet he stood silently by as the majority of Americans lived in chains. He refused to free the people he enslaved, even in his will. So the question stands, can you build liberty while denying it at your doorstep? Madison thought so, but the people he held in bondage might have thought differently. We are not here to cancel history. We're here to complete it. The founding fathers gave us a vision of freedom that inspired revolutions around the world. But that vision was deeply incomplete. They declared independence while denying it to others. They built a democracy that served white, land-owning men, while black people, women, and Native Americans were left out of the promise. The contradictions aren't meant to destroy their legacy. They're meant to teach us something about power. That it's possible to be visionary and still be wrong. That greatness without justice can still leave scars. And that history is not a statue, it's a mirror. We must look into it, honestly, courageously. Because only when we understand the full story can we write a better one next. What do you think? Should we judge historical figures by modern values? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you found this video eye-opening, hit that like button. Share it with someone who still believes the clean version of history, and subscribe for more history they never taught you in school. Until next time, stay curious, stay critical, and never stop learning.